What up, Block fam? Welcome to today's episode. Sitting in front of me here in my home garage, we are looking at this Ironhead, which is for the 5 Dirty Bikers build for autism awareness. And the specs on it, I know I'll totally butcher, so rather than me butchering them, what I'm gonna do, in addition to this Ironhead, we also have Jared Weems here.
What's up? What's going down, guys?
Instagram right there. You guys be sure to go give him a follow. Also check out his YouTube. So you guys have seen Weems in a few previous episodes, and so him and I have basically
joined forces together to build a boat anchor. In my opinion, a whopping 35.5 horse 1975 Harley-Davidson Ironhead Sportster 1000cc, first year for the left foot shift. So yeah, a boat anchor.
It's a mouthful, and I totally would have gotten all of that wrong. And so I handed it over to Weems. So yeah, the whole concept behind this build with 5 Dirty Bikers, with Weems, with Blockhead Garage, we're basically doing this David Mann replica, right?
Yes.
For the hot dogs.
Absolutely. So 1983, David Mann did this painting for Iron Horse magazine titled Doggone Hot Dogs. And in that painting on the left-hand side is this amazing little hardtail Sportster. And we're recreating that bike into real life to raise money and awareness for an organization called TACA, the Autism Community in Action, national nonprofit organization that provides education, resources, and support for families who have family members with autism.
He's such a better speaker than I am for like all of this. And so I'm just like, here you go. Let me point the camera at you, bro.
It's all good. It's all good. That's what I do. I help people with my talents, my abilities, and that's whether it's being able to speak words or build really cool choppers, and we're going to build a really cool chopper to help all these families out.
On speaking note, it just made me think of you doing the officiating, or being the officiant for David and Cindy's wedding.
Oh yeah,
bro, amazing. Like tear.
Well, that's why I was wearing my glasses, so the glare of the glasses could hide some of those tears.
You're like making yourself cry.
Yeah, no, it was so good, so good. Such a great time, man.
That was an awesome time, man. You're basically here in Orlando. You came by to drop some other stuff off as well. One of them to Milkbone here. So you've got frame. What else?
We got the frame, we got the tank, we got the rear fender, we got the headlight, and I am super stoked that Milkbone is going to be the guy who takes on the project to recreate something that was an image in David Mann's head and bring it to real life so that other people can experience that real life artwork right in person. So super stoked, man. Milkbone is the man for paint, bar none. He's amazing.
And he's local here in Orlando, yeah.
He's an Orlando guy. He's local for you. I'm a Tampa guy, so.
Orlando. Yeah, so I've heard a lot about Milkbone. I hear really, really great things. I actually met his stepmom at a bank.
What?
Yeah, super weird.
That's cool.
Super random. We're basically talking motorcycles, and like she overheard, and so she started asking me and the person I was there with about motorcycles, and she was like, oh yeah, my stepson or something. And
my stepson is the #1 custom painter in the whole area of Florida.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was like, oh, that's awesome, yeah. Like, so definitely need to look into his stuff. Excited to see what he does with this. So yeah, we've basically got the engine. I'm gonna go ahead and take it to the shop. I'm gonna load it in the truck. We'll continue there, but big shout out to Weems. You guys, please be sure to go follow him. Go subscribe to his channel. He does some awesome stuff. You're an invited builder to, what was it, Born Free, right?
Yeah, last year I was an invited builder for Born Free 13, built a alcohol fuel, mechanically fuel injected supercharged 1956 Triumph drag bike, and ended up winning best competition. So super cool bike. We're gonna be touring for a few more shows. We got the official invite from Mama Tried, so we're gonna be Mama Tried.
We'll be there.
In Milwaukee in February. A Florida boy in the frozen tundra.
2 Florida boys.
Oh, you're going too? We're gonna be freezing to death.
Right,
It'll be all good. But yeah, super stoked. Blockhead's gonna knock this out of the park. We're gonna have an amazing power plant. Hopefully that pushes at least 36 horsepower to go into.
Isn't that what we're
project.
starting with?
Well, we started with 35.5. Good time. Good time.
Awesome. All right, let's continue in the shop. All right, guys, we have the Ironhead at the shop, and Weems was supposed to leave, but he's still here for some reason.
They're gonna give me some free food, so I, can't say no to free food.
We got lunch on the way. Weems actually did the first modification to this engine. He did a 103 to it, so this is now a 103 cubic inch Ironhead.
Yeah.
What kind of ponies are you looking at for this thing?
We're looking at 2,000.
Way better than any of the bikes we've ever built.
2,000 puppy powers.
Puppy powers.
That equals out to about 35 horsepower.
Yeah.
Which is what it did on the Dyna.
Yeah, we've got the engine here at the shop. We're gonna start disassembly. Weems is hanging out for a bit since whenever we do take us a lot of this stuff off. What are you having done to the cylinders heads, like finishes and all that stuff?
So yeah, everything aluminum is going to be vapor honed, and then it's going to be, if it's an exposed part like the primary cover, timing cover, rocker boxes, we're going to go ahead and polish those out to a show quality finish. Cylinders and heads are going to be ceramic coated silver. So yeah, it's going to be really pretty boat anchor when we get done with it.
Really pretty, just like Vinny over there. Pretty Vinny. Yeah, Chris is getting tools ready because the tools for this are a little different than a lot of the modern stuff that we use, since it is from, what was it, 75?
1975.
75?
It's older than me.
It's got more wisdom than that beard?
Well, I've always said that I don't want to work on a motorcycle unless it's older than me, and I was born in 78, so I think we're still good on this.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris, you excited for this Ironhead?
Oh, can't you tell? I love the 103 timer cover.
Yeah, that's all him.
It's custom, man.
It's the way it goes.
I was like, it looks so out of place.
I think that has to do with how old it is. It's 103 years old. We're just two old guys. Let's see if we can figure out how this tractor engine works.
You know, we have to go back to our childhood to remember.
Man, all I remember is my dad smoking a lot of pot. So,
yeah. I remember taking apart and then sitting around going, damn, how's this go back together? Where's that screw?
Then your dad walks in and whoops your ass because you were taking parts off
My
his
grandfather,
motorcycle.
maybe, yeah.
That was my dad. That was my dad.
We're getting deep into some psychological territory here. Maybe we should just get to work on the engine. So what's the game plan here? Do we want to go over basically disassembly and we'll start
I prefer this. If you want to swim that. Ready?
All right, well, we're gonna get started with this assembly, showing you guys taking apart a 75 Ironhead. Woo! Yeah. So I was just asking how like this got ate up, and they were saying that these were cast, but not only just cast, but sand cast.
Correct.
Y'all want to explain to the viewers what sand casting is?
Have you ever went to the beach and got like that wet sand and like pressed your hands down in it? That's literally what you do with sand casting. You take this very like dense sand, you press your piece that you're wanting to recreate into that damp sand, remove it out, and it leaves the imprint in there. You take the other piece, put it on top, and then you pour in molten steel, and it casts right inside of that sand.
So that's how this was made.
Yeah.
So Jared was just telling me about this one time that 1975 vintage Harley fell into his lap. Despite the many attempts to not work on this motorcycle, it still ended up happening somehow. So I thought it would be insightful for him to share that with you guys.
A Harley-Davidson wouldn't be my first choice for a build, but it somehow has the ability to sneak in and penetrate the four walls of my shop. But yeah, super stoked. Originally I wanted to build a fuel-injected Evo Sportster. Somehow donated to this project was this cool 1975 Ironhead, which I love. Any old motorcycle, I don't care what brand it is. Harley-Davidson somehow has a way to get into my heart because I remember my dad's old bikes, and one of the last Harley-Davidsons that my dad had was a 1981 Ironhead Sportster. So super neat to get my hands dirty on something I've never done before. Have support with a lot of friends in the community, a lot of people in the industry to jump alongside and say, hey, we want to be a part of it. Cool people like Chris to be able to say, hey, I've done this a long time ago.
Hey, weren't we just agreeing that neither one of us wanted to do this?
The whole idea is that Chris says, you know, here at Blockhead Moto, one of the elements that we are missing in our shop that he really wants to do
Did I say that?
is Ironhead Sportsters.
You're so full of shit.
don't come to us for your Ironheads or your old bikes. It is possible, but not something that we do or specialize in. We specialize obviously in like modern stuff, performance, like a lot of the M8 stuff, you know, that we're doing, new twin cam stuff.
Why did you decide to take on an Ironhead Sportster?
Yeah, thanks.
Chris wants to know this too.
Why?
Because we're not making money on this. I know you're not making money. I'm not making money.
Nope.
So why did you take it on?
It's a great cause, you know, like bringing autism awareness, TACA, raising money for them, and then the fact that you built the other bike in the David Mann painting and the story behind that, which he was just telling me. So basically, he builds this other bike out of the David Mann painting, raffles it off, right? Gives it away. The new owner ends up somehow knowing you, is working on a Triumph as well.
Which he built.
Built an engine for him.
That he built.
I think 10 years earlier, I had built an engine for this guy.
The coincidences here, like it's crazy, like the way that it all adds up. So yeah, like the guy's got an engine that Weems built 10 years prior on a build that he's working on. The guy wins the bike. Him and Weems are in touch. He wants to keep it in the house. The wife will not let him keep it in the house. He says every time he rides it, he feels like something's gonna go wrong. It's a nice motorcycle, very nicely built. Obviously, Weems
not that anything would mechanically go wrong, but he's afraid like somebody pulls out in front of the motorcycle getting hurt.
Yeah, you hit a patch of like wet pavement or something like that. Like he doesn't. It's one of those things that's so nice that you don't want anything to go wrong. And so he ends up donating it to museum, which you guys talked to Barber. So the museum is currently on display in Barber. After that, everybody was asking you, when are you building the other bike in the painting, right? So over the next however long.
And I always said that I don't build Harleys.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be known as the guy who only builds replicas. I wanted to, you know, really use my talents and abilities to build motorcycles that are in my head, not somebody else's. So, yeah.
And he did.
It's an alcohol-fueled, mechanically fuel-injected, supercharged 1956 Triumph for Born Free 13. All the words.
The way it worked out is 5 Dirty Bikers ended up saying like, hey, we want to, you know, do a build and want to do it for charity. Dustin has a child with autism as well. Weems does also, for those of you that don't know. And so obviously it hits very close to home for them.
So we meet at a show.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, I just got a phone call from these guys and I don't build Harleys. Would you be willing to help out with this project? So there's my question. Why did you say yes?
Why did I say yes? I said yes because it's nostalgia, the messaging, like it's putting good out there. It's putting good energy out there, and that's always something that I want to do. That's the whole reason we do our bike giveaways, because like we like wrenching on stuff. We film it. We're in it for the content. We're in it for the education. And then by the time we're done with that, like we want to give it back to the community. And so what better cause than participating in something like this and giving it back to the community, but then also raising a lot of money for a great cause. It's like the same thing behind Forgotten Angels. Doing the face reveal, like I held off on doing that until Josh and I were actually like lined up so that we could raise money for Forgotten Angels, you know. And so
awesome.
I think it's always great to be able to do charitable work, you know. We are going into like those spaces of like, yeah, it's uncomfortable for us. I'm definitely pushing Chris there, and I've heard some words, but I continue to push.
Well, I think something I've said, and I've said it on a lot of my videos on my channel, is, you know, we've all been given a skill, a talent, an ability, a gifting, whatever you want to call it, to work on motorcycles, to build motorcycles, but you might not be that person who does that. You might not have those skill sets. Maybe you're a person who's really good at video editing, like Justin edited in this video. What I've always said is take what you have and use it to help other people, no matter what it is. So that's what we're doing, man. We're simply taking this talent, ability. I have the ability to fabricate, build a cool bike, and Chris over there, he has the ability to work on an Ironhead motor, whether he wants to or not.
Begrudgingly.
Whether he wants to or not, but you know, we're using this to help out a community of people, a community of families who walk every day with these issues. And personally, from my own life, I do that. So without getting emotional, I'm going to turn it back over to Blockhead, but that's what we're doing this bike for. It's going to be super awesome.
No, we're keeping it on you now that you're getting emotional. So in addition to all that, the story on how it actually ended up coming to be a Harley-Davidson and getting Weems to work on a Harley-Davidson, for those of you that don't know, he works pretty strictly on
Vintage
Triumphs, and so he's definitely entering like a kind of a space of not being the most comfortable, but he's doing it for a great cause. And it's allowed me to be able to work alongside him, Chris as well, which is super cool because we're gonna put him to work for other Harley projects too. I think I told you that.
That's the way the community works. You know, we said that, you know, now Blockhead Garage is working on Ironheads. You know, once you open up that box, Once you open up that box, and I knew that going into a Harley project, it was going to open up that box for Harley-Davidsons in my shop, and that's fine. I will work on choppers with the man, the myth, the legend, Blockhead himself, and I have no problem with that because nothing more I love to do more than riding motorcycles is actually building and working on them.
Yeah, I think it's super funny how despite you not wanting to work on it, it ended up happening. Like I recommended a bracket to like FDB a while back, and we went back and forth with what ideas would be in the bracket, and like I threw in chopper, obviously, and so it's like just these little decisions that happened a year ago.
Now it's not your shop.
Now it's here, you know, and he didn't want to do it. Chris didn't want to do it, but I'm over here just like, come on guys, let's do this.
Oh, it's all your fault. We blame you. Yep. You added chopper to the bracket. It's all you. It's all
I mean, it wasn't. I think we all added chopper to the bracket whenever we were having the discussion because we were just going through.
How could you not build a chopper out of a Harley-Davidson?
Right.
What else are you going to build a Harley-Davidson in? I mean, you can do some really cool performance stuff like you guys do, but when people think about an old Sportster, what else are you going to build out of it?
Yeah.
It's a chopper.
A boat anchor.
A boat. Well, it's already a boat anchor.
Stoked that you're finally working on Harleys, bro.
Hey, I'm stoked that this may be my last Harley-Davidson I ever work on.
It's not good.
Cut it now?
You're gonna do what I asked you to do the first time?
No, not the rubber, the flag.
Oh, this is hilarious watching like two seasoned builders work next to each other.
So back in this day, bad guys in motorcycle clubs were stealing a lot of Harley-Davidsons and they would re-stamp the cases. So Harley said, we're just gonna come up with some really funky fonts and special stamps so these guys cannot forge the numbers on the sides of the motors. Everything in the 1970 year started with an H, and then the number following that is the actual year, so 75.
So yeah, like the 5 is weird, the 7 is weird, the 9, the 2, the 3, it's all, none of it really matches, so it's an interesting strategy. All right guys, so this is pretty much it. Looks like a bit of a mess now, but Weems here is gonna be taking everything that he needs over to Tampa, having his people do the refinishing. He was talking about vapor honing and, you know, all the stuff that he mentioned earlier. So whenever we see all of this stuff back, it should look beautiful. And then the hard part begins, which is the reassembly. So I think we got to buy a couple tools for that, and a couple little extra nuts and bolts and whatnot. But for having never done this,
pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know, our first time doing it and never doing it again will be the best part.
it's like one time,
one and done.
One
baby.
and done.
One and done.
Yep. The following episode that you guys will see will be the reassembly. You're gonna pick up the engine completed, take it back, get it rebuilt.
We're gonna do the first start up here.
Yeah, so we'll do the first start back here at Blockhead Garage.
If you ever need to work on an Ironhead, make sure you have a welder, a really big hammer, and at least 6 arms to hold things apart. So.
Yeah. There was a couple times where like I got that above view and everybody's just like all hands on the engine. Big shout out to Weems. As always, you guys do me a favor, be sure to go give them a follow, youtube.com/WeemsMotorCo. Right, and then on Instagram, Weems Motorco Tampa.
Tampa.
Yeah, so if you guys want to keep up with his side of the stuff, content, go give him a follow. He's actually got a couple videos out. One of the things I was thinking whenever I was walking Zuko earlier is the fact that like we're getting to do this. I feel super grateful, especially thinking like, bro, I am nowhere on the level of these dudes. Like Chris, the fact that I get to work beside him all the time, it's a pleasure. And then having Weems here in house, Appreciate you being here, man. It's a real honor. Do me a huge favor. Chris is burning the midnight oil here. He's putting in those long hours. So go give Chris a follow. Tell him thank you for all of his hard work and efforts towards this. Don't call him cool. We're not trying to make him mad. We're really trying to be thankful and grateful because we are for him. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions on any of this build, let us know. Drop them down in the comments below. Like I said, we're doing this in collaboration with 5 Dirty Bikers, Weems Motor Co., so Jared Weems, myself. We've got tons of sponsors on board for this thing, so shout out to all the sponsors. TACA Now, the autism community in action. So if you guys want to check out any of that stuff, links all down in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Lets YouTube know that we're doing a good job. Go follow Weems. Don't skip over hitting the like button and go follow him. Do both. Hit the like and go follow Weems. Go subscribe to him. What are you at right now?
11,700 and I believe 6.
Let's try to up him by 1,000 or something. You guys go over to his channel, check out the link. Great content, amazing builder. And also we're gonna put him back to work on Harleys like I've been saying, because I got a hardtail project that
I'll do a cameo or two.
Yeah.
Cameo or two.
Got a hardtail project I want to get him in on that we're gonna be announcing to you guys. So thank you again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share it with your friends, tell your mom, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, ride safe, stay vigilant. That's it.